Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Today is a great day, like every day. Well, today is going to be a little exciting because I have been waiting for some parts for a certain car that I was looking very forward to working on. And I got them in the mail yesterday, and maybe you guys remember this fellow right here. Yeah, this guy that I bought maybe a month ago or something like that. Yeah, as you can see, this is my 2006 Honda Accord. And today, we're going to be working on it because I got all the necessary things that I need to work on it. Toolbox, oil change, parts, everything you see here is going to be coming out, and we're going to be working on it. Alright, so today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be fixing and replacing this ball joint right here. We're going to be changing the axle, and we're also, hopefully when that's done, the car will be drivable, and then I will change the oil, and I will clean the engine bay and the engine, and then after that, when that's done, we'll see what happens. But let's start unpacking all of this and go from there. Now this right here is for giving my power washing machine some power. And also I have a charger for this very same camcorder. So a little power that I'm gonna need. It's going from the car power to regular normal house power. So that's very useful. So this is what my engine bay looks right now. Very, very, very dirty. I'm going to be cleaning all of this today, but I'm going to do this last because I don't want to be spraying this whole engine and engine bay with degreaser and having to sit and work on a floor that has liquid on it. So first things first, I have to get the axle out, and as you can see how dirty and nasty this is, but this all is going to change today. So first off, what we're going to be needing to do is take off this bolt here to get to the axle and take out the axle, and then after that we're going to be removing the ball joint, which is right there. So let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to take a look at what I brought today with me. First and foremost, I brought with me the axles that I need to install. These are aftermarket axles right there. And I bought the lower ball joint and control arm right there. I also brought some Pennzoil oil with me so I can change the oil dumpster, a lot of extra tools, a jack, a seat that's broken but I could sit on, it still works, another floor jack right there, and there's a lot of, you know, cleaning materials for the inside of the car. I also brought an original Honda oil filter that I will be using. It's original for the engine. I brought my power washing machine so I can clean the engine as I showed you guys earlier, because it's just, yeah, look at that. So I also brought a vacuum cleaner so I could clean the interior of the car, because I don't know if you guys saw the interior of the car. super, super dirty. Like, this lady never cleaned out her car, ever. Yeah. So, I'm gonna be cleaning out this car thoroughly, but once I get the mechanical parts done on it. Alright. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be taking off this lug nut right here. And first we have to untorque the parts here where it's set it in. So we're going to get our screwdriver. We're at a point where okay. Oh, wow. Okay, you did work after all. So we got the control arm bolt out. Now we just gotta finally, we got the old axle out. All right, finally got the old axle out. And now, I'm gonna go under the car and I'm gonna pop that other piece that goes on here out and then install the new one. So this old, new. All right, so we got the part out from the transmission. Right here, the old one, we got it out. And there was some transmission fluid that was coming out. So I had to put the drain holder under it real quick. Anyways, we got this out. Oh. يا ابن النكناكة. Well, we finally got this part out, which is the lower control arm, and I have an exchange for that. Where's the right, where's the left? Brand new. So we have to make sure what we're dealing with is the right one. This looks like the other side. And this is the correct one. So I need to take this and go get it pressed. Put the newer ball joint I need to get this new ball joint pressed into here. or whatever's left of it. Now I need to take off the other knuckle castle screw. We're going to use a 10mm socket. I know that's not very good for the brake cables, but this is momentarily. Now when you're taking off this brake hose, you're going to be careful because it's just held up with the small tiny part here that's holding up to the chassis. So when you take it off, you want to be very careful so it doesn't drop and break. So I got 2 screws off. There we go. This one you could put up here and just so you don't lose the screws. Sometimes I like to put them back in place but not actually holding anything. Alright, so the only thing left I have is this screw here. So I'm going to take off the knuckle or castle screw. There's a pin in here you gotta adjust and then take out. There you have it, the whole entire knuckle. Let me get up so you guys can see a little bit more. Okay, fellas, I got the knuckle off. It's a pretty heavy piece. I could not get the rotor off because there's one screw that's broken. If you could see it, it's right there. Oh, right there. That's broken. It's not really broken. It's just messed up. So I gotta. My goal right now is to take this. I have to get this off, which is this part right here, and press the new ball joint, which is right here, and have it installed into the new one right here, just like that. So let's go find a shop. All right, as you can see, I got the axle out, and as you can see, it's very, very dirty from all the grease that was in the previous axle that came out of the transmission. So what I'm going to do is I will install this new axle right here into the drive shaft, and I will put a small piece of wire or rope to hold it up, and I will have this area in the transmission, so this part will seal off any debris going in, and then I will completely clean out all of this dirt and dust and oil and just nastiness. So this is what it looks like, and I will be putting in the axle. So the axle's pretty easy to put in. You just slide it in, turn it, and push, and it should have a click, because here, right there, that is what clicks in and holds it inside the transmission. Okay, so I'm going to put it in right now, and I'm going to have it sitting down on something so it doesn't put pressure on the internal parts of the transmission. And then when it's completely sealed and sit in, I'm going to degrease all this, degrease the engine, degrease everything, and then start cleaning up. All right, I don't see if you can see it, but the axle is all the way in. That is the drive shaft that I installed, and if you follow here, it's all the way installed. So you just got to turn it left and right until it sits down or fits in its proper area. Now I could degrease all of this, and we'll see the results before and after. So I want you guys to get a good look how it looks before, and let me disconnect this for safety purposes. So this is what the engine looks like right now. I will cover that. That's the power steering. I'm going to cover that. Yeah, this is how I got this car. So, see up here how dirty it is? Anyways, I'm gonna degrease all this, and I'm gonna degrease down here, and I'm gonna let all that degrease sit while I go and do those parts real quick. And by the time that I'm done, the degreaser should have done some of its work. So, see you soon. Alright, so I'm headed to the machine shop right now, and I called them in advance and I let them know what's going on, and they said yes, we just need to take a look at what's going on. So I'm going to go there right now, and I'll be back with you shortly. Alright, right now I'm at the machine shop here on Glendale Avenue here in Reno, Nevada, and I just want to give a shout out to Driveline Gear Service. have a very, very big workshop back there. They're doing a superb job on my Knuckle right now. Apparently I didn't need the lower ball joint control arm. I just needed the Knuckle, which is going to press in. So he's working on that right now. I want to give him a shout out. Good people, good prices, very polite, very knowledgeable about what they're doing. And yeah, shout out to Driveline. All right, so I just got back from the machine shop. They told me that it's going to take a few hours, so I came back and I decided I'm going to clean up all of that gunk that's outside on the engine bay and from the oil that leaked from the axle. So hopefully we'll get everything clean, and then by then it should have dried off, and so I could start working on it in a clean environment. So let's see what's going to happen. There's the cap. Huh.
Twenty minutes later.
All right, I just finished power washing this car, engine bay. So as you can see, I do apologize because the light. So anyways, this is what it looks afterwards, after cleaning it. I took out the battery just for, you know, I don't want any electric running in the system and causing any short, just to be on the safe side. There's the battery right there. So yeah, I made a puddle of water. Oh well. But the car got cleaned. I mean, look at it now. I mean, maybe you guys have seen the before images. which I will put up. But this looks way, way better now. All much, much cleaner now. I mean, look at this. This is nice and shiny, sort of. But yeah, I cleaned up. And in the process, I found the power steering cap. That cap right there, it was sitting right here. Like, wow. I had to put a plastic cover over it because I didn't want any water in the power steering. So I put a little plastic thing over it. And as I was cleaning, I found the top. I was like, oh, okay, great, nice. So yeah, this is what I cleaned. Took out the battery compartment, cleaned under that. Got all that dirtiness and nastiness. I will check the oil very soon. I just want to let it drip and dry. Now, back to our most important thing of the video. So I cleaned up all this area here. And most importantly, I cleaned up all the oil that was from the old axle. If you can take a look, there's no old oil. So the new axle is in. I'm just waiting for the shop to finish pressing the lower ball joint into the knuckle. And as you can see, it's very clean. Well, cleaner. I mean, it's not very clean, but it's much better. There's just a little bit of oil here and there, but you know, it's not gonna, you know, make a big difference. The axle's in, which is most important. I am going to, right now, wait for this to dry up. And then hopefully I'll be expecting a call from the shop, and they'll call me and I'll go over and pay them their money for pressing in the ball joint. So, it's much cleaner now here. Everything will be put back together as should. Got the new axle in. We're making progress. We are making progress here. My next thing I want to do is I want to get 2 latches for the hood, so I don't have to use a broom, and then change the oil, add some transmission fluid, you know, things like that. Get it up and running. Give her more life. So, this is it for now. Later, I'll be going to the shop and getting the knuckle, and I'll continue the video later. Alright, so when I left to go get the lower ball joint pushed and compressed into the lower control arm and the knuckle, and I got the lower control arm installed along with the axle. And so I got back and I got the ball joint compressed. If you guys can take a look here, I got it compressed in there. So all what I need to do is put this back together, basically. But when I got back, I found out that it's raining. It's literally, well, it's not raining, it's coming down a little bit, but I am gonna get this done. Like right now. Alright. I know you're very surprised. Okay, well, how did all this come together? Well, earlier when I went to go get the knuckle from at the machine shop, Drive Gear up in Sparks, really good people, you know, shout out to them, they did a really good job. So I gave them the knuckle to press out the old ball joint, and they put the new one in, and there was a screw that got stripped here, so I told them to take it out. So the other one I was able to save and salvage, so I used that to close the rotor onto the knuckle. Now here's the new bearing, the axle screw, excuse me. And earlier I could not film because it was sprinkling and I didn't want the camera to get wet, so I do apologize. I did get some of it done already, if you could see here. Alright, so I got the lower arm control installed with the bolt. I got the axle installed as you saw earlier, and I also got it installed here. So when I got the knuckle back, I started to install it. And the brand new lower ball joint, let me get a better picture of this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh my god. Hold on. There you go. Brand new. I'm going to tighten that up, and that's the castle nut. and the rest of it being installed. So right now, all what I have left is I need to put the brake rotor on and put the ABS sensor, which is right here, and tighten up this bolt right here. I should be good. And I also installed, oops, that right there. Tie rod. It's also in the knuckle. I gotta put the ABS right here, down here somewhere. But yeah, I'm almost done. So I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod and zoom forward through this video. Automatic transmission fluid, Dipstick. So what I bought is this little fella here. This one is a flexible one. It's flexible so it can get into tight spaces. And yeah. All right, we got the automatic transmission fluid in. Now this motor flush, I used it on my Subaru because the lady that I bought the Subaru from told me she hadn't changed the oil in a long time. And when I did use the flush, it came out very dirty, and I replaced it with some really good oil. And when I usually change my oil, it's after 3,000 miles. And when I went to go check my oil after 3,000 miles, which is the normal average mileage that I check it at, it was surprisingly clean. So I'm going to use this on this, and hopefully it'll keep the engine from internal parts from getting dirty, or it'll flush it out, you know, completely, hopefully. Use this every time, if you have a dirty engine, use this every time you have an oil change that's due. Use it, it'll clean the internal parts, it'll clean everything, and I am a witness to that because it worked on my Subaru. Motor Flush or Motor Medic has not endorsed me. I did this on my personal expense and time. So yeah, give it a try. Now I'm going to put this and the gas treatments. So the objective of the motor flush oil that I just put in here, you have to put it in before you change your fluid by like 5 or 10 minutes. Start the car, let it run, don't drive around. Maybe around the block once, but no high revving, nothing high, you know. Let it sit for 5 minutes, then flush your oil, and then all the dirt and gunk would come out. Well, right now I'm going to start her and see if she moves. she moved. Looks like we got things done. But there's a small sound from the dust, from the brake dust cover. I need to bend it out a little bit. Well, it looks like I need to jack her up. So we got the new filter on. We need to put the oil. This car is going to take between 3.5 to 4 quarts. So I got her in the shade and I am done with the mechanical work. I put the new oil filter, if you could see right there, it's original Honda. And I put the high mileage synthetic oil. She purrs, the engine sounds really good. I added automatic transmission fluid for the transmission fluid that was leaking yesterday. No, the transmission does not have a leak. When I took the other half of the transmission out, the axle, I apologize, some of the fluid came out to replace the axle, so I replaced the oil. So yeah, has enough oil in the transmission, has brand new oil in the motor. The power steering has oil right there. The water, it seems to be okay. So right now, I want to show you guys the interior before. Poor car. Poor car. So I'm pretty sure you guys are thinking, okay, how am I going to clean all this mess? One of those little dirt devils that plug into the ash in the ashtray lighters, that's not going to work. You need something better. Well, guess what I went to Walmart and got? Dun, dun, dun! This thing has got to have some power. But Adam, it plugs into the wall. It doesn't take battery power. That's why I have this buddy. 800 watt to up to 16 peak watts. Has 2 outlets. I've already tested it. I've actually played my PlayStation 3 on it with a TV. Yes. So, we're gonna plug this bad boy in, clean all this car.
3 hours later.
Alright folks, I am completely done with the car, cleaning it inside and outside and getting all the parts installed. So let's take a look at the final product. Much cleaner than before. Nothing here, nothing down there, it's all clean. It's all clean right here. It's all clean, yeah. Compared to what it was before. Nice and clean, yeah. And it smells good too. I dumped a whole bottle of Febreze Auto in this thing. Yeah, I want it to smell good. Just a few small things there. But compared to what she was before, how she looked, remember how the trunk looked? And look at her now. Clean, clean, clean. That's the remaining of the 5 quarts of oil that I had. I only used 4. So, you know, I always keep a little bit of oil extra. And down here I got my spare tire. Very clean now. And back seat. Remember how it used to look before? Nice and clean. Nothing, all completely clean. It's just a little bit of wet from the Febreze. You know, I want this car to smell better because she used to smoke in the car. So I'm gonna let Febreze sit in here and do its magic. So yeah, it's all clean in the back. Very clean here. Clean the doors, door handles, all this. All of that gunk is gone. Clean, 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 clean. Here in the front, much cleaner. Oh yeah. Much, much, much clean. And I still have the original 2006 book. Yeah. Owner's manual, pretty cool. And so she's very clean now. Just the way how to do it. You see, and got in between the chairs, in between here. Oh man, I spent like 3-4 hours doing this. Nice and clean up here. Nice and clean down there. I mean, I did my best to my best abilities, okay? You might have seen a spot here and there, but oh well. This car is 10 million times cleaner than what it was before. And, of course, most importantly, besides it being clean, this car actually drives. Well, there you have it, folks. This is my cheap 2006 Honda Accord with a V6 engine in it, my cheap buy that had the axle torn out because of a lower ball joint that was broken. I was able to fix it, as you saw in the video, and I cleaned it out. And yeah, that's just the beginning of this car. I'm going to start getting more parts for it, as you can see. The front reinforcement, hood, all those kind of things. But first, right now, I have to find a body shop that will give me a good estimate. So stay tuned for the next video of this car. I'm already starting to like it. If you felt like this video was beneficial, please share it with your friends that have Hondas, or just if you want to watch it for fun. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode with this cheap Honda build. Thank you.